Right guys, WoT here. Got another replay for you. I've got the VK 4502. It's a new tier 9 heavy tank that's just been out for about a week now on the PS4. So I've just newly acquired this tank, so I'm just gonna show you a couple of replays. I've got this first one here, which is just to basically show you the the thickness of the armor, how good it is, because it's pretty impressive actually. So you got the turret armor, which is 252, which is the same turret as the E75. Then you got the hull armor as well, which is at the front. It's 200mm thickness, but it does have a sort of 45 to 50 degree angle, so that will obviously increase its thickness. So it does become very bouncy, as you'll see in a minute. So I'm just basically lining myself up here. Front onwards, I'll have two E100s here. So this is just to basically demonstrate how bouncy this armor is. How you can literally just sit, in front of the enemy almost, and just take shot after shot. So I can't quite get a hit on this Japan's here on the left, but got a couple of E100s coming around the corner here. Get a shot on him. That's the first bounce there for the E100. Got a shot there from the left side from the Japanzer, which bounced. Another bounce there from the E100. Got another hit on him. So at the moment I'm just sort of literally front on, just bouncing shots. The lower plate on this tank is pretty much impenetrable. I wouldn't even bother aiming for the lower plate if you come up against the VK. There's just no point. The only major weak spots that this tank's got is the commander's hatch, which is the same as the E75, but also you got the machine gun port, which is on the front of the hull. So apart from that, that's the only real weaknesses. You can penetrate the turret cheeks on this tank as well, but to be honest, pretty much most tanks try and go for your lower plate. It's almost an invite for them, sitting just dead straight on. So at the moment it's a new tank, so I think a lot of people just haven't quite figured out how to penetrate this tank yet. A lot of people just assume the lower plate is the weak spot, so they'll go for that, and obviously it'll bounce. So I'll just finish off the E100 there. So it's a very quick game this, but you'll see just from this short game how much block damage I get at the end of this game. So I took a few shots there. You can see the one of the E100s switched to the heat rounds because he obviously knew he wasn't getting through the AP rounds. So that's the real threat is if you load your premium ammo, heat rounds, APCR rounds, it will get through to the turret. But as for armoured piercing rounds, it's pretty bounces every shot. So we're just moving up a little bit just to finish this last E100 off. So it's the only real damage I took there was from the E100 there with the heat rounds. Get another penetration on this E100. Just platooning with a few friends as well on here. Get a bit more penetration in there. So again, it's the same gun as the E75, same reload, same accuracy, same alpha damage. Pretty much, just top half is pretty much the E75. It's just obviously the hull armor, which is obviously the difference. You got the rear mounted turret there, which is gives it more like the mouse look to it. But the side armor is thicker than the E75. It's only 100 mils thickness, so you can't really side scrape like you can on the E75. Took a bit of damage to the tracks there, but this E75 has got the hasn't got the fully upgraded gun, so it's quite an easy one. Now I'll just finish this E75 off. Easy destroy there, easy win. So quite a quick game there. Let's just have a quick look, see how much damage and block damage we've done. So done just under 3.5 damage there. Blocked just over 5,000. Got 8 penetrations. Finished top of the leaderboard there. So that first replay is just to basically, just basically show you that you can pretty much just sit there, face on, take as many hits as you can really. So this is the second replay I've got for you. So there's a bit more gameplay here. Got a few more tanks that will come off face to face with. I will take a little bit of damage here because there's a lot more enemy tanks in front. So it's mainly taking the damage from where I've turning the turret. So the side of the turret is quite weak. So that's why it's best always to mainly keep it front on, because it's got that such great armor at the front. You can always angle it very slightly just to move backwards and forwards, make it a little bit more difficult for them to hit the commander's hatch, but you can't angle it too much because tanks will be able to penetrate your sides. So just moving around here. Okay, got Panther 2 over there, it's been spotted. Got quite a few tanks here. Another Panther 2 there, going over that ridge, quite an easy penetration there on the side. So just got the just peeling back for the reload. So it's the same reload as the E75. It's just over 13 seconds at the moment. But once you've researched the BIA, it does drop down just under 13 seconds. So it does get a little bit better once you've researched that for your crew skill. It's just going to push forward to this next little ridge line here. So I think you should, still be quite careful. Don't take for granted that you'll bounce every single shot, because if someone knows where to aim, they will penetrate. So just moving back there, got another shot there on the tank destroyer there. Okay, got a few tanks here in front. Okay, bounce a few shots off of this tank here. So almost sport for choice. Most of them are either beyond that little ridge line there or behind the building, but try and go for the top of the turret there on the T29, but just miss. So I'll sort of start focusing mainly on these tanks that are just around this corner here. Got the Tiger 2. Just finish off the... no, not quite finish off the tortoise there. An easy hit on the side. So another bounce there. It's already done quite a few bounces. Tiger 2 struggling to penetrate. Really take a few hits here. T25 tank destroyer there. Just give the tracks, get out there quick. Another few bounces there. So just within that space of like 10 seconds, probably had about 10 shots on me there. 2 or 3 of them did get through, but the rest of them did bounce. So I do struggle getting through to this M6, the mutant as it's called. Pretty solid armour here on the mutant. So we're just holding this spot here at the moment. No need to push forward just yet. No need to get too aggressive. Because there is still quite a few tanks out there. If I do start getting too aggressive, you know, I'll be getting hit from, you know, the sides, which will be too easy for them to penetrate. So just being a little bit patient at the moment. Okay, the ISO, they just finished off the mutant. Okay, getting a few hits in now on this medium tank here. So we've got the T-25 tank destroyer out there. T-26E4, just trying to sort him out. So it's the mobility on this tank is quite slow. It hasn't got the mobility. It's got the same overall speed, but it's got a less horsepower. So it's the acceleration is a lot slower than the E75. So just finish off this tortoise on the top of the tank there. So yeah, it's a bit slow getting off to speed, but once you're on a flat and you're out, it does hit to sort of 30 kilometers an hour. It does struggle, you know, on the inclines. If you're on quite a hilly map, it is a little bit slow. But sometimes you do get the odd teammate that helps you, helps by pushing you up a little bit, gives you an extra couple of kilometers an hour. So that's the second destroyer there. Got the T-25 AT here in front. Finish him off. Okay, so they've only got two medium tanks left. Got Panther 2 here, which gets finished off. Okay, that's pretty much it. Quite a straightforward game there. Quite a lot of hits there. Quite a lot of tanks, different kinds of tanks. I did get a few hits there, a few penetrations got through, but a lot of the time it was where I was turning my turret, aiming at another tank, getting a hit there on the side of the turrets. So, but apart from that, you know, when you're sort of front on, focused on the tank, you do get quite a few bounces. So yeah, pretty impressed with this tank at the moment. It's almost a troll-like tank at the moment. You know, it's a new tank, so not a lot of people know where to hit it. They assume to hit the lower plate, but obviously it's going to bounce. So it's until people actually figure out to go for the either the machine gun port or the hatch on top, you know, you will be getting some good games in this tank. And that's about it. We do manage to destroy the medium at the end. I think it comes up on the top of the map there, A5. So it gets yeah, destroyed pretty quick there on spotting. And that's it. Let's have a look at the match report at the end of this one. So just under 2,500 XP, 3,763 damage, again another 5,360 block damage there, 11 penetrations, and that is about it. Finished top of the leaderboard again, that's good. That's pretty much it. If you like this video, learn anything from it, and give me a subscribe, and I'll be uploading some more tanks. Hopefully we'll be getting the mouse soon. I'll catch you guys.